Do you like scary? I mean, just the word scary? Boy oh boy, do I have a special video for you. Don't get your hopes up, it is this one. Today I'm going to be taking a look at some scary games and urban legends you definitely do not want to play on Halloween night at midnight. That's when I would definitely not play them. The Midnight Game is an old pagan ritual used as a punishment for those who broke the laws of the pagan religion in question. It is highly recommended, genuinely recommended you do not play this game. But here, I'll tell you about it anyway. It must be exactly 12 a.m. when you start the ritual. You'll need a candle, paper, a pen, matches, salt, a wooden door, and one drop of your own blood. If playing with more than one person, they each need these items. So first, you write your full name on the paper and drop the blood on it. Let the blood soak in. Turn off all the lights in the house. Place the paper with your name on it at the front door. Take out the candle and light it. Place it on the paper and knock on the door 22 times. Then you open the door, blow out the candle and close the door. You have just let the Midnight Man into your house. Immediately light the candle. Now the game begins. You must now go around your pitch black house with the candle, and the aim is to avoid the Midnight Man until 3:33 a.m. If you cannot go around your house, you have to surround yourself with a circle of salt and stay there until 3:33 a.m. If your candle goes out, that means the Midnight Man is near you and you have to relight your candle within 10 seconds. If you reach 3:33 a.m. without being attacked, he will leave. If he is near you, there will be a sudden drop in temperature. You'll see a pure black figure in the darkness and soft whispering coming towards you. If you experience any of these, leave the area immediately. And one more thing. Don't provoke the Midnight Man. The Smiling Man story, it goes like this. 5 years ago, a guy lived in a major US city, and he likes to go out for walks at night, 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning, when the city is quiet and peaceful. One night, on a winter night, he goes out for a walk. He begins to walk home, and as he turns down a side street towards his apartment, at the far end of the street on his side, he sees a silhouette of a man dancing a strange dance, like a waltz, finishing every movement with one step toward him. Thinking he's probably drunk, the guy crosses the street to avoid the dancing man. As he gets closer, he notices that the dancing man is wearing an odd suit. His eyes were open and wild, and he had a painfully wide smile on his face. He keeps walking, and just as he turns towards the corner, he looks back and sees the dancing man facing him, dancing toward him again. He continues walking. He gets a block away and looks back and sees the dancing man is following him, faster and faster. The man then becomes completely frozen as he dances closer and closer. Finally, when he reaches him, the man asks what he wants. The dancing man says nothing, just continues dancing. Eventually, he dances away into the distance. Just as the dancing man goes away into the distance, the man notices something. The man had stopped dancing. He's not moving. He then starts to become bigger. The man realized that the dancing man was sprinting towards him. The man turns and runs away, and that was the last time he went out at night, fearing he'd meet the dancing man again. This urban legend started as an online diary in December 2000, and I guess you could say it hasn't really ended yet. It concerns a man named Ted and his obsession with a cave in the year 2000. As the new year approaches, Ted and his friend decide on one last cave diving experience. He did not reveal the location of the cave. After exploring the cave for a bit, they found an absolutely tiny opening at the back of the cave that seems like a tight fit, and they decided to see if they could open it up. It would take a while. They would have to get drilling equipment and everything. It would be a big deal. Hearing wind and rumbling, which they assumed were trucks outside, they end up leaving and returning a month later with the equipment. As they were working, they hear howling coming from the opening, but they assumed it was just the wind. The rumbling noise was also growing, though the roadside was relatively truck-free. Returning again and again to work on breaking through the unexplored part of the cave, they start to become obsessed. The next time, they decided to take one of their dogs for some company while they work on breaking through the opening. The dog's enjoying the cave, sniffing, exploring, but once they reach the opening, it becomes incredibly nervous. Its hair is on edge, whimpering. They return a month later and they're nearly finished drilling through the opening. Then Ted hears the most terrible scream he's ever heard fill the cave. He shakes his head, brushes it off, figures it's a mixture of fatigue and the drilling noises rebounding off the cave. Or at least hoping that's what it was. They then leave, they come back 1 month later and finally break through into the new cave. They're probably the first people there in history. Then Ted sees strange markings on the wall. This. They return with a friend another time and frightening things begin to happen. As they explore the cave, the wind stops and starts like an opening is being covered and uncovered. They send the friend into the cave by himself first, and he turns and leaves immediately, refusing to talk about anything he saw in the cave, simply saying, "Don't go in there." They hear rumblings getting louder in the cave, as if the cave continues on for miles. The next time they returned, things get even worse. Rocks move, a terrible stench fills the cave. The ropes begin to get pulled into the darkness. Afterward, Ted becomes paranoid, having terrible nightmares and seeing dark figures everywhere. He tries to forget about the cave, knowing that something is really wrong there. 3 months later, Ted's friend says to him that he and other friends will venture into the cave one last time. Ted goes too, saying he needs the closure, and they're never heard from again. The diaries are never updated again. This is the last message